What's up, everybody? Okay, this video is about Quentin Beastwood. He just made a video, literally, I saw, and he was basically telling everybody and coming out and saying, I'm not going to hold back anymore and tell everybody how horrible of a coach Matt Jansen is. I've been saying this for years. I have nothing against the guy personally. I don't know him. I just know that he just blew up out of nowhere and started coaching guys. He had Dallas McCarver, which passed away under his care, not under Chad Nichols. He hired Chad Nichols briefly, and then he went back to him, and he gets guys very unhealthy. I've had several clients come to me. They were really bad off. One of them even had to have a kidney transplant, okay? So let's talk about Quentin first. You can check out the video. It's on his channel. It's about a 20-something minute long video, him talking about, what Matt did. And he does this a lot into a lot of clients. And, there was rumored about Nick that he had fake gear. That's not true at all, okay? I'm not sure who started that. And, Quentin says that's what Matt does when Matt messes up. He's like, oh, well, you just have fake gear then. So that's the furthest thing from the truth with Nick. And I already told people that was BS. I already told my opinion on that, and I'll kind of touch on it again. So Quentin had a long off season, okay, basically, and he got really, really big and heavy. So when he dieted down for his show with Matt, he lost everything. And he came in even smaller than 2 years prior. So in 2 years, you come in worse, smaller and not as conditioned. And then he said, Matt gaslighted him too and was basically like blaming it on him and treated him really bad. And that's why he decided coming out and let out a video. Guys, people think certain coaches have these special formulas and this and that. They don't, okay? A good coach is someone that watches you, keep a close eye on you, knows what they're doing, obviously. He's been doing this for years and years and years. But a lot of these top pro guys, a lot of them don't listen, okay? I'm going to be straight up with you. A lot of them don't listen, but the ones that do, they listen to everything. He even faulted himself. He's like, it's my fault because I listened to everything Matt said. No, it's not your fault, Quentin. That's what a good client does. And a good coach-client relationship is supposed to be that way. All my clients, like for the first 10, 12 years, clients were different then. They listened to anything and everything. Now people coach hop every year. People listen to everything. They'll hear something on the internet and then from like some 18-year-old kid, and then they'll ask you, hey, what about this? I'm just like, oh. So it's really hard to coach top level competitors anymore. That's why I enjoy doing lifestyle coaching, and I enjoy coaching beginners. I love taking someone that looks like they could never win a show or never compete and actually have them win a show and compete. Are they going to be on the Olympia stage one day? Probably not. But I love to see that before and after. That's so dramatic. That's what I love doing. When I was saying all this stuff about Matt, people were like, oh, you're just hating because he has Olympia clients and you don't. I'm like, no. You guys don't know what he did to get those clients. He was literally paying for them, paying for their food, paying for their gear. I've never chased after clients. If you want to hire me, you come to me, we get you going, and I'm going to do the best job possible, and I'm going to have you in the best place you've ever been. Best shape, best condition. This is what I've done in my life. I'm not one of these coaches that is a clout chaser and that's going to go after clients that's going to give my name a better reputation. This is a business. I've been doing this for a very long time. I don't care if I have Mr. Olympia or winner at the Wagatu Classic. I don't even know what that is. It just sounded good. So Quentin said, he was not only like physically not okay. He was like, he was hurt. He thought Matt was, had his back and all that. He said, Matt just totally screwed him over. Let's move on to Nick for a second. The same thing, happened to Nick. And he was even saying, if you're not noticing like Quentin losing all this muscle far out as a coach, like you're not a good coach. Seeing Nick not getting ready for this show far out, you got to be like, what is going on? I already gave my opinion. I think he's not healthy, but if he looked good, he still would have jumped on stage. I think his body stopped responding to gear because he's pushed it so hard, and he's listened to Matt, and he's wanted it too. He's pushed it so hard, so fast, your body stops responding. It's like any compound, beer, whatever. You have to have more and more and more for it to work. That's why I preach to younger kids all the time that are starting out with these big cycles. Don't do that. In the long run, it's not going to be the best option for you. You're going to burn out. I believe Nick is burnt out. Can he come back? We'll see. I think he needs to take a year off, really clean out, focus on his health, whatever's going on. You look at Matt's other client, Sean Clarita. He got beat again this Olympia. Even if he was at his best, he still couldn't have beat his winner. He was just too good. Okay. Sean Clarita came in flat, small, nothing was popping. So Matt's really messing up lately. People, you're gonna grow, bunch of food, bunch of gear, hard training, but it comes to a point where the body's not responding anymore because as a coach, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not taking your clients off the compounds. You're not making them do the health phase, rest, do everything right that makes a bodybuilder have longevity in this industry or sport or whatever you want to call it. And as an athlete, you need to know that there's not some magical coach that's just going to make you, amazing, okay? There's not some special formula. A good coach is someone that's attentive, is, answering you, not taking days. Like when a client messages me, it takes me literally usually less than an hour to message them back, okay? Especially if we're prepping for a show. I'm looking at them every day, every few days, and we're dialing in perfectly. I love seeing the transformations. I would, love to take someone like Nick or Quentin and make them, really good at this level. But, I'm not going to go chase any clients. If they came to me, we would sit down, we would have a talk, we would go over what they were on, and I would make them do certain health markers to make sure they were okay before I even coached them. I know Nick wouldn't do that with Dom Super Sliced. Clients of Nick, have said he's had him on so much stuff, like, 1,500 milligrams of tren, 1,800 milligrams of tren a week. They couldn't even sleep. They had to get so sedated just to sleep, okay? With, benzos, ketamine, painkillers, all this stuff. Matt is a dangerous guy. Just look at his interview, with Nick. He was saying Nick does better under chaos. That makes zero sense, okay? So I think he's been exposed now, and I've been in this industry a long time, and I cannot stand fakes or phonies. I love the honest truth, and if you're doing this to your clients, this is their health. This is their livelihood, and this is why there's so many clients now that don't listen to their coaches, that coach hop every freaking year, every season, because they can't trust their coach, because there's been so many coaches in the past 10 years that's harming people, that don't know what they're doing, that built up a clout name, but they're not an actual good coach. They just get that name, okay? And then eventually everything's exposed, and then people find out, okay? Your years when you're bodybuilding is very numbered, okay? So if you get linked up with a bad coach, and you could have been an amazing bodybuilder, your career's messed up, it is what it is. That's why it's so important when people are coming into industry to pick the right person. I'm not saying that's me, of course. I think I'm a great coach. I've been doing this a very, very long time. I don't consider myself just like a coach, like here's a diet. I mean, I'm making sure people's doing their blood work. Not only blood work, heart checkups, other checkups. People might say, hey, I'm feeling this way. We'll go over everything they're taking. A doctor might have them taking a medication. I had a couple of these guys, they were taking a medication, and I figured it out, and the doctor didn't even figure it out why they were feeling so bad. So I take my time, and I really care about my clients, and I've had clients for, as long as I've been coaching, since I even started. And loyalty is the best thing. I love, and I'm honest with people too. If I think a client is not going to go any further, like there's been a client before, I've had two that we got to a certain point, and I said, listen, this is the best you're ever going to be. I suggest, retire, you had a good run. They didn't like that answer. They went with another coach, and then they went like this. They lost muscle. They got stringy, they looked bad, and they got worse and worse and worse, okay? I do this with people because I care about them, especially if they've been with me 5, 10 years, and I'm just honest with people. Sometimes people don't want the truth. They can go to another coach. That coach will be happy to take your money. There's so many people I consult with, and I'm honest with them. I'll tell them, hey, you need this much time, or hey, I don't think we're a match, and I do not take their money because I think they should do what's best for them, and I think what they think at that time is going to happen is not going to happen under any coach. And a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, okay? But I speak the truth to people. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. Where's Nick go from here? Quentin, I think he's got a lot of size to put on for his frame. but he has a great physique. Where does Sean Clarita go from here? Comment down below, guys, and join us Thursday for Iron OG.